The Shopify Master Checklist for 2019. Hey, what's going on? Shri Kanase here, and welcome to another Shopify video. So after thinking about a topic for a few days, I finally decided that I would make a video on a brand new master checklist for all the beginners out there, or anybody who's planning to start a brand new Shopify store. I have been mentioning a lot in a lot of my videos that Shopify has changed tremendously since the beginning of this year. And because of these changes, the stuff that we used to do to really kickstart the Shopify store has changed. And in order to stay up to date with all of these changes, I decided to create a brand new 2019 master checklist for Shopify, which you guys can use to really check off all those things and make sure that you're on track. Because I honestly, when I started, wished that I had used some kind of checklist for my Shopify store, as things would have been much more easier and they would have flowed much more smoothly. But nonetheless, here's a brand new checklist for you guys. It'll be available for you for free in the description below. But before downloading this checklist, all I want you to do is click that subscribe button down below and smash the like button. But let's hop on to the details of this checklist. So this is a very straightforward checklist for you guys with about 8 steps, around 10 in total if you calculate the 2 sub steps right here. But these steps are created from start to finish, basically what you should start with and what you should end with. So kind of go down this checklist whenever you start a brand new Shopify store and tick off all of the things which you do. We already have hundreds of things going on inside our head, and it kind of gets hard to micromanage all of these things at once, especially when you're dealing with a lot of extra things. So this checklist is perfect for you because you don't have to do the remembering. This checklist will help you remember all of the things that you have to do and basically stay on track. But the very first thing on my checklist is the domain. I do realize that you should get a domain after your free trial ends, but the reason why I have domain as number 1 is because I would suggest doing some research on which domain provider you want to use, whether it be the Shopify domain or something like GoDaddy, and really research the prices and see which provider fits within your budget before taking the step. This is a basic necessity that you will need for your Shopify store and will have to provide enough budget for it. So this is the first thing you want to account for when starting a new Shopify store. Once you have researched the domains available and set aside a limited budget for that, the next thing you want to do is start by installing all of the codes. The first thing that you want to install is your Google Analytics code. I had made a video on how to install the Google Analytics code correctly though. Link should have popped up in the top right. But this is the second step on the checklist. I can't tell you guys how important it is to have the Google Analytics installed correctly, because it is going to provide you with the data that you need to scale your Shopify store once you have the purchases coming in. And you can use this analytics for a lot of other things in addition to just scaling. You can use the analytics to find faults within your website and see where the customers are leaving from what page and what your bounce rate is, so you can work on these things. But remember this: in Shopify and e-commerce, data wins. The person who follows trends of the data or has more data is the real winner in Shopify. So that is why it's extremely important to make sure that this code is installed. And along with this, you want to make sure that you follow the third step on the checklist, which is get your Facebook pixel installed. I've had people contact me where they're not getting any types of stats on their Facebook ad account, but they're spending hundreds of dollars each day to only find out that their pixel was not installed at all. That's a big hole in your pocket. Without your Facebook pixel correctly installed, there's no point of you even running any types of ads. You might as well just mail Zuckerberg a few $100 or just light that money on fire, because that is exactly what happens when you don't have your pixel installed correctly. So that is why it is the third step on my list after getting your analytics code installed. Following that, we want to start working on the store itself. And the first thing that I really like to do before even designing the store is start working on the store preferences and the meta description. You can find this option when you click on online store in the left menu of your Shopify dashboard and then click on preferences. But you want to start filling out these details and basically configuring all of the settings to match your Shopify store, whether it is in a specific niche or a general store. I've always been a big believer in building a strong base before starting out with all of the other things. So doing these things before even designing your website is going to help you build a strong base, because you will know exactly what your store revolves around and how you want to design your theme based on all of the details that you fill out in the preferences and meta description. Once you have done that, which is about the fourth step, you want to start by not only designing the website and adding colors and everything to your preferences, but also focusing on the contact us and about us page. I believe in 2019 and onwards, these two pages are going to be the biggest and most important pages you can have on your Shopify store. So as the fifth step, you want to get them installed right away on your store and spend some time creating them. You don't want to spend 5 minutes creating the About Us page and have some sort of fake story up there, because it is not really going to connect with anybody. If you're in a specific niche, you can really make your About Us page shine and stand out from other dropshipping stores just like yours in the same niche. But such pages do also work really well for general stores, as long as you spend time adding emotional words to it and making it full of emotions. Because like always, emotions sell. So add as much emotions as you can from the beginning and kickstart your Shopify store. Moving on to the sixth step, by now you should have done all of the designing and have the main pages already set up. Now this is where we start working on the back end. We start with email marketing flows. Again, I have made a video on email marketing and how it should be done. The link should have popped up in the top right. But the two main automated flows that you want to focus on right from the get-go is the abandoned cart flow and the welcome flow. These two flows will make sure that all of the people who abandon cart are getting sent emails to, and all the new people who sign up to your newsletter are getting the welcome flows. So in the beginning, you really need to have at least these two flows set up. Unless you have more time, you can set up all of the flows. But if you're ready to get started and have that money coming in, make sure to install these two flows and get it ready to go. And really also take time to make it revolve around your brand. So if it is in a kind of a gentle niche, like for elderly people, you want to have some gentle words or gentle colors going on in the flow. You don't want something really bold or anything that's gonna drive away these people who are older. So really start thinking about who you're going to be targeting and start making your store and email marketing flows revolve around that specific audience group. But moving on to our second to last step to really kickstart your career with dropshipping is create your Facebook and Instagram page and make sure that it is correctly connected to your Shopify store. We want our products to be able to show on Facebook so that we can tag them when creating feed posts. But make sure to create these pages correctly, get the logos and profile photos, everything set up, and start by creating organic posts on these pages. You want to be posting about 2 to 3 times per day with hashtags, of course, and get that organic traffic coming to your store and let the people know what your store is about. Organic traffic is the best way to get the first few visitors to your website and start letting people know that your store actually exists. But once you have done all of these things, you should pat yourself on the back because you're about to get started in one of the most exciting business ventures out there. And the last step is a test purchase. You definitely want to make sure that you complete this step so that you know that everything is working correctly and all of the shipping options pop up for the specific countries and the credit card info is correctly going through. And once you check off this step, you have come very far. Just know that the coming time for your Shopify store may be a struggle because you're brand new to the business and just starting out, but if you are persistent with it, you will get far. But once again, this checklist will be available for you guys in the description below. Print it out or save it to your computer and just check off the items as you go along and get your Shopify store ready within a few days. But if you guys found any type of value in this video, don't forget that like button down below and I'll see you guys next time.